Welcome back to Moments with Myra, the podcast where we celebrate inspiring journeys, meaningful conversations, and the gifts people bring to the world. Today, I'm so very honored to sit down with a talented musician whose saxophone speaks volumes, touching hearts, and creating unforgettable moments through music. Please join me in welcoming saxophonist Matthew Miller. Matthew, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Now, for those meeting you for the first time, who is Matthew Miller beyond the saxophone?
Just a little country boy, born and raised out here in Greensboro, out near the airport. Just been out here mostly in my family area. The family's been out here for almost 200 years, so it's a nice little piece of legacy. The church just got made into a historical monument, so that's pretty cool. But like I said, born and raised out here in Greensboro, little country boy, still staying on the same land I've been on for the last 39 years. So
Well, you know what? I think that you just gave me another podcast idea. So I'll be reaching out to you so that we can talk about ancestry and
there
legacy
you
and
go.
history too. So thank you
There
for
you go.
that.
You're welcome. My
Now,
pleasure.
now, with you talking about being on the land and just all of the history and stuff that's around you all the time, what
Mhm.
first sparked your love for music?
My parents, my family, both sides of my family actually are really good vocalists. I got a couple of people on my daddy's side of the family that had their own gospel quartet. Um, my mom, she learned to play piano and flute, and she did recitals and stuff like that growing up as well. So I mean, it's inbred in me. My dad played guitar for a little bit, so like it's I was born into it. You know, my parents we had the hi-fi back in the day, so I listened to 8 tracks and vinyls and stuff like that growing up. So you know, it was there was no choice, but to be in the music. My mama put me in the choir at 3 years old. So
Oh, yeah. So she was preparing. She already knew.
yes,
Now,
man.
being around all of this different talent, how did you choose the saxophone out of
Um,
everything that you could have chosen?
so I don't know. I started with a little electric guitar when I was a kid, but hearing the saxophone and all those like old school R&B songs that my pops would play, or whenever I was like listening to 97 in my aunt's car.
Yes.
My mama had me on gospel a lot of times, but you hear a little bit of everything out there, right? But I know I figured out what the instrument I was hearing was saxophone. And when I was 9, they was asking me what I wanted to play, and I knew without a shadow of a doubt it was going to be the sax. As soon as I walked in the store, I was like, "Yeah, it's that one right there."
So, do you remember the first song that you learned how to play on your saxophone?
The first actual song besides the hot cross buns we got talk.
I think the hot cross
uh,
buns was no matter what
Everybody,
instrument
yeah,
you played,
you
everybody
knew,
started
yeah,
out.
everybody knew that one. It was a hot cross buns, but nah, it had to be. If anything, it was probably a gospel song. I don't remember which one. If it wasn't a gospel song, it was something Kenny G was playing. I think I had Kenny G's Christmas album before I had the saxophone good, and I played that joker. It didn't matter if it was the middle of July. I was playing Kenny G Christmas album on my saxophone.
But that's not a bad choice because you can never go wrong with Kenny G. Kenny
At
G is
all,
forever.
at
So
all,
I
yeah.
can dig it. I can dig it. Now, we talked about Kenny G, but growing up, who were some of your other biggest music influences, you think?
Um, Besides Kenny, he was one of the first saxophone players I heard. I got into after him mostly once I started joining like Jasmine and stuff. I really started following John Coltrane,
Yeah.
other saxophone players like Charlie Bird Parker, Grover Cleveland, a bunch of different guys. I'm a huge Miles Davis fan. I know he plays trumpet, but I just love his style and how emotional, how you can
Mhm.
almost see how he feels like while he's playing it. Like I love it. But there's so many different people. Like Ray Charles is one of my idols. I love listening to everything he did. You'll hear him like when I sing or whenever I play saxophone, you hear those kind of like bluesy gospel riffs and stuff like that. Stevie, John Legend, John P. Key, like it's a wide range of. I like rock. I like hip hop. So it's a bunch of different genres that kind of make up who Matt Miller is. Matt on sax. So
Well, and I think that that's a beautiful thing because, and I think too, now I'm much older than you are, but I grew up around a lot of different musics, and so all of those people that you were naming, the 8 tracks, the whole thing, that's how
Yeah,
it was in my house too. So I love to hear you say that you listen to a little bit of everything because I know my mom's from West Virginia, and so I even like a little bluegrass, you know. So
right,
music
right,
is music. So
right,
I think
right,
that it's good that you pull from all of those different collectives to kind of make who Matt Miller is. So I think
right,
that
right.
that's really, really a cool thing.
Thank
So
you.
now tell us about your journey from being a beginner to when you crossed over to being a professional musician.
Okay. Well, I say, my mama, like I said, my mama started me young. So I've been in the choir since I was 3. With the saxophone, I kind of like I did. I started, I guess you could say, if I wanted to say I was professional, I started doing like weddings and like a lot of church gigs back when I was like maybe 14, 15 years old. All the time, like I used to go to churches every Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. You know how black moms
Yeah.
is. If we were doing anything, we was in church. So I was in church a lot. So whenever I started really getting, you know, used to the saxophone, having my own sound and everything. I started talking to people. People wanted me to start playing for their weddings and stuff like that around 15, 16 years old.
Okay, that's
Mhm.
cool. So now, as you were developing your craft, what challenges have you come up against, or has it been just kind of smooth sailing?
Um, I wouldn't say there were any challenges. I mean, the biggest challenge, honestly, is for a musician to make money at the end of the day, and to make steady money where it's a living for you. But other than that, I mean, it's always the goal. But I wouldn't call it a challenge or any. But I like challenges. It's something to overcome. It's something to better yourself with. So like, I mean, it's just finding your tribe. Really, is the thing. If you find somebody or a group of people that really rock with you, that really support you, and want to see you continue to go forward. I've always had a decent amount of support, and so I'm grateful and thankful for that. Like my support has always been there throughout it all. But as of late, the support has grown exponentially. But I feel like that's because I've been more vocal and more uh, outspoken about where I want to go and how who I want to be with this. Um, but like I said, it's something like they say, closed mouths don't get fed. So if you don't
That
speak what you
part.
want, it don't come into existence.
Yes. And you know, I'm a firm believer in manifesting. And
Mhm.
sometimes we can be so down on ourselves and not
Mhm.
realize that we're speaking ourselves out of the manifestation that was already in the works, you
Right,
know?
right, right.
So I'm glad that you realize that. And I think that having a tribe that supports you no matter what, whether you're up, down, creative,
Hmm.
whatever it is that you're doing, is the
Right,
best way for you to be able to express yourself even more because you feel like you're in a safe space. So that's
exactly.
pretty cool. So now, was there a particular moment when you realized this music thing could be more than a hobby? Like I might be able to make some coins maybe if I stick with it.
Um, I don't know. It's well, even before I knew that was what I wanted to do. I kind of knew that was what I wanted to do. Excuse me. I remember telling my family when I was younger that I was gonna be famous. I remember sitting out in my backyard in my grandma's house, and it was like I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be the first famous one in the family to play saxophone and sing. It was like, well, good luck. And I was like, well, now they coming to my shows with the band and stuff.
Mhm.
I mean, it's all love, you know what I'm saying? You're speaking into existence. You just got to keep working at it. It may
Yeah,
take a little longer than you think, but it don't work on our time. It work on God's time. So as long as you keep pushing, you good.
that part. That part. And I think that's where we get hung up sometimes. We want everything when we want it, but not
Hmm.
when he's ready to release it to
Right,
us.
right, right.
So how would you describe your unique style and sound?
A mixture of everything that I listen to, everything that I that's kind of like inspired me. It's got like a churchy,
Mhm.
bluesy, funky kind of vibe, but the way it fits around a whole bunch of genres. Like I get a lot of calls from hip hop artists that want me to play behind them because for some odd reason they love hearing me play saxophone on their tracks, and I love playing saxophone on their tracks. And it's not something that you see a lot or hear a lot. Is a hip hop beat with saxophone on it, or a live, live performance with a saxophone is right behind somebody going real hard, like.
Yeah.
So like I love it. Yeah, like it's just a mixture of everything that I've been through. You know, I started in the church, so you hear that churchy vibrato sometimes when I'm playing, and then y- I play jazz, so you hear the jazz riffs and every now and then. Then I love hearing rock, so I growl a little bit on the saxophone in the
Mm.
middle of it, you know. But it just depends on the mood, the vibe. You know what I'm saying? I kind of feel how the song feel, and I feel how the artist I'm with, or you know what I'm saying, wherever we are, kind of. I'm like the vibe check of the room, if that makes sense.
It does. It does. And that was the one thing that I really, really liked when I first discovered your music on Instagram, because it was like, you hear the first thing, you're like, okay. And then when you go and you listen to more music and more sounds and more things, it's like a beautiful thing because I like the fact that, okay, I get a little gospel here, a little word, hallelujah. Then I
Yeah,
can go over here and maybe like bounce a little bit,
right, right.
and then just like chill with a glass of wine or whatever I'm
Hmm.
drinking.
Right.
So it gives you that riding. Like if you were to make a
Yeah.
whole CD, it will remind me of riding music.
Look, when I tell you it's coming out soon,
I'm excited.
it's
I'm
coming
excited
out
about
soon.
that.
We're having some fun with that one.
Good, good. Now, have there been any mentors who helped shape your musical journey?
Mm, that's a good question. Mentors. I'm gonna say, my saxophone teacher in college was one. He was one of the first people to tell me that I shouldn't have wasted my time going to college. Like he
Mm,
was actually adamant about it. He was like, "Why are you here? Like you already got, you know what I'm saying, enough knowledge to go make it, and we're just messing you up out here trying to teach you stuff." And I was like, "Man, but I want to have something, you know what I'm saying? I want to
yeah,
have some type of, idea of what I got going on." And he understood, but he also he was one of the first people outside of my family to tell me, "Hey, bro, you should be out making music. Like, I don't know why you out here. Like, you at school." But he was one of them. And then most of my other mentors, uh, I have a couple other friends. They out in like Florida and stuff. There are other people that push me to continue doing what I do. And would get mad at me when I slacked off. So
yeah.
I do appreciate having those type of people around me. Kind of get a light of fire under my butt. So.
Yeah, that's what I call keeping you honest.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes when you're doing your grind like you're doing, and even though it's something that you love, you
Mm-hmm.
can kind of get into a rut, so to speak,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
sometimes we're human. We feel like things aren't moving quick enough. People just not getting it. Like, what do I need to do? So I'm
Right.
glad that you have that backup that's like, hey, man, like you took a hiatus long enough. Let's get to this music. Let me send you this
Right.
track. So
Right.
that's a
Right.
good thing to keep you going. That's the reason why you're getting ready to release that album because people
Exactly.
have been keeping that fire burning up under you and keeping you motivated to do it.
Exactly. And I love them more for it.
So now music has the ability to heal and connect people. What
Mhm.
does music mean to you personally? And I know we touched on it a little bit in the beginning because you come from a musical family, but
Mhm.
I really, really do believe that music can heal. And I think that music has a healing power that translates all languages.
Mhm.
So what does music mean to you personally, just outside of the fact that you come from a musical family?
Um, for me, music, honestly, I don't really do it to be famous or to make money. Most of the times, I do it because it's a freedom of expression. It's an escape from reality. Um, it's a way for me to express how I feel, even when I don't feel like expressing how I feel. If that makes
Yeah,
sense.
it does.
I can express how I feel without using words. So you hear it in my notes. You hear it in the breaths. Like you'll hear it in how fast I might or how slow I might play. But yeah, like I said, it's an escape. It's really just my place of peace outside of my place of peace. If that makes sense.
Yes, it does. I'm an Aquarius, honey. So you're speaking my language for sure. Because even from when I was young up until now, even I was listening to music before we were getting ready to start. And
Mhm.
no matter what kind of day I've had, I can put me on some music and that right track will just take me where I need to be. And I
Mhm.
reset. It's like it calms my soul, it calms my spirit. So I get
Right.
that. And my hope and prayer for you is because you do it because you enjoy it so much, and not like a lot of people are out here just chasing a dollar. I mean, now,
Mm.
if we make some money now, that's
Right,
a
right,
good
right,
thing. Don't get me wrong. But
right,
but I think it's a beautiful thing that you're doing it for the right reasons because you sincerely enjoy it. Because I think about the musicians, some of the musicians now, and I'll be riding in the car and I was like, I could have made that. Like,
right, right,
just got me a
right,
beat machine or something and do a
right.
little something. So I
Hmm.
really, really love that you are doing it the right way, if that
Thank
makes
you.
sense.
I
So
appreciate
that,
it.
yeah, that right there means a lot. So now when people are listening to your music, what emotions do you hope listeners experience when they hear you play?
Um, so I hope I don't know. A lot of times, most of the time, I want them to be able to feel like they can move. Like I love depending on the song, like on the album we're working on, I've only got three saxophone pieces on it, but each piece is very different in and of itself. One of them's kind of like a intro to the album, kind of gives you that hip hop that I've been talking about.
Hmm.
And there's an interlude in the middle, but it gives the interlude in the middle gives you like the you want to stand up a little bit, stretch, kind of. It's almost like a workout song, but it's not a workout song. And
Yeah.
then the last piece that I have on there that I'm playing on saxophone is actually got like get up and dance, kind of almost like a reggae tone, kind of like a Spanish kind of feel to it. So I don't know. I like people to get a little bit of everything when I play my saxophone. When they hear me playing, any like whenever I play, I kind of try to pick songs that are. If I'm playing something like nice and slow, I want to play my saxophone nice and slow. So you know what I'm saying,
Hmm.
like kind of put them in the mood of that, you know what I'm saying. But also, if I'm playing something fast, I want them to be able to feel like they can get up and move like I'm moving while I'm playing, you know. So
Hmm.
yeah, just
So
keep it
just give
simple.
the people what they want. That's
Right,
right.
exactly.
So, how do you prepare mentally and spiritually before performance? Are you nervous? Do you pray? Are you quiet? What do you do?
Um, I'm a mixed bag. It depends on the venue. I think. I used to get nervous a lot. I don't get nervous anymore. I guess because I perform. You know, I got to a point where I was performing like 3, 4 times a week. So it kind of
Mhm.
like knock. You don't really have time to catch the butterflies anymore. If anything, the only thing I'd be worried about is like having enough music. You know, so I can perform it. You know, excuse me. But yeah, nah. I'm oftentimes the guy that prays before the gig. If I'm in a band, they'll usually look at me if we're doing a prayer before a big performance. And I don't mind praying. I pray all the time. I got to the point now I don't even say amen because I feel like every time I'm talking, it's pointless to start a new prayer. So I pray
Yes.
all day, kind of deal like I'm always talking. Um, but yeah, I kind of sometimes I'll get quiet, especially if I feel like there's a real serious song. Like my last couple of performances I've done. I think I scared my son the last time. He's never really seen me that reserved. I'm usually
Mhm.
the fun, laughable, like I'm playing with everybody, picking and stuff like that. But I returned to my home school at Greensboro College where I graduated, and so it was like him seeing me real reserved, real quiet, actually like getting my mind right to perform. I don't think he's ever seen me do that because most times he's like sitting somewhere special and he doesn't get to see me do my performance setup. But
Mhm.
like yeah, so yeah, like I end up I talk to myself. Uh, I got like a couple homeboys. They walk around. They the most that I do is I'll start pacing. If anything, like I'll be ready way before it's time to
Yeah.
go. So I get, if anything, I'll be antsy. Like I'm ready to go perform. Like I'm dumb excited, and you can see it all over me. Like I'll be like playing with my saxophone, like clicking the keys, or like running around doing scales, and just constantly moving. I can't sit still before like performance ever, ever.
And I was gonna say, I can imagine like little Matthew is inside talking about, let's
Right?
go,
Yeah,
let's get on stage,
yeah.
let's go.
Screaming. I mean, at the top of his lungs, going off like, bro, I'm ready, like really hype. And the whole time, my face is showing how hype I am, but my body is also like trying to keep it. I don't want to use all my energy before I get on the stage, but I'll be ready so bad. I'll be so ready. Doing
Have you,
jumping jacks.
Matthew, have you
Mhm.
ever got on stage and like froze or had stage
Oh,
fright of any kind?
um, not so much stage fright. I've forgotten words though. And it's funny because I've done songs where like it'd be like randomly like I'll do the song like for like a three or four times in a row, and then I won't do it for like a month, and then I for some odd reason I forget the words, and then they'll like throw it at me. Hey, let's do this song. And I'm like, huh, not yet. But I mean, I'm good at kind of like deflecting. So if I forget the
Yeah.
words, I like kind of like talk to the crowd and try to remember what I got to do or something. Or
Mhm.
if I mess up the words in the middle of the song, I point the mic at the crowd real quick. Hey, y'all know the song. Sing
Uh-huh.
it with
That's
me,
the easy way.
you know what I'm saying? Take the blame off of me a little bit. Hey, yeah, this is crowd participation. But yeah, nah, I don't really get like stage fright anymore, unless they kind of like put me on the spot. It's not really like stage fright. It's more like oh crap, like crap, what am I gonna do? Unless they tell me
Hmm.
what they want me to do, and then I'm like, okay, that took the then he ain't throw me under the bus right quick. So I
Yeah.
don't mind.
And so now when they throw you under the bus, do you have one song that you just automatically go to? How do you make the decision as to what you're going to perform at the drop of a hat? If they're like, okay, spotlight on you, we need you to do this part. Do you have a
Um,
song that you just go to?
I got a couple of songs that I might just like throw out of my drive and send to them right quick. Most of the time, I think the last couple times that's happened, they hit me up within like they hit me up like a week or like matter of fact, somebody called me the day of and was like, "Hey, can you come play your saxophone?" And I was like, "What are we playing?" And it was like, same old." And I was like, "Okay," and never got the music. So I was like, "Cool," but I went and performed anyway, right? But I'm also
Hmm.
one of those players that I was taught to play by ear, So
Mm, okay.
um, I picked up the song, I let the song play a little bit, then hear my notes in it, and then I start playing. But most time, like it used to upset me when stuff like that would happen. But now, like if I get thrown on the bus right quick, I take it as okay. So I'm the vibe check again. So let me
Mm,
check the vibe. Let me see how they, what I'm saying. If they're gonna rock with what I do, they're gonna rock with everybody tonight. So I don't mind. I think I wouldn't say it's a pet peeve. I don't like going first, but I know why people put me first.
mhm,
Like I feel like I'm like a middle of the show, like an intermission kind of guy. Like
mhm.
like throw me in the intermission, you know what I'm saying? But that's
Yeah.
how I've always like I don't be thinking of myself as like an opener or a closer, you know what I'm saying? I've always been like, hey, throw me in the middle. People like kind of got their drinks or they done got a little food in them and stuff. Like they
Yeah.
settle down a little bit. They don't want to go nowhere, but they hear me, they might listen a little longer type deal.
Mhm.
But like I said, I don't mind. I'm starting to like being first because like I said, I like being the vibe check, see how the room going at.
Yeah,
So
and you know what? With you being first, you set kind of the standard for the
mhm.
remaining of the show too. So that's
Right.
not a bad place to be. So
I enjoy
now
it.
tell me, when you're writing music, what
Mhm.
does your creative process look like?
Um, hmm. Honestly, it just most of the time it depends on if I'm in the mood or not. But I can write even if I'm not in the mood. If I really like the way a beat sounds, or if I have something in my head that might have inspired me to write something.
Mhm.
Um, I normally or randomly I'll be listening to stuff a lot. Like whenever I get a lot of my inspiration from what I hear. So like if I'm talking to people or something like that, or I hear like another artist line, like I might go off of one line that I heard and try and like make it into a song or something like that. Or a lot of times I'm nowhere near as good as Michael, but I hear the song in my head before I write it. So like a lot of times like I'll walk around and you might randomly hear me singing a beat that nobody knows because I barely know it, but it's in my head. So I'm trying to
Mhm.
hum it to, remember it so I can record it on my phone. But other than that, like, yeah, I mean, my creative process, it varies. A lot of times, like, I'm one of those random writers that if you give me a beat and the beat has a name already, I can write to the name of the beat type deal. That's how I really started. When I really started writing again, back in my early 20s, when I started writing, he would give me a beat and the beat might have had a name on it already. And he had like an idea for it. And I'd be like, okay, bet. I write off of that. And I'd be like, yo, just play it. and 15, 20 minutes later, I be done wrote a whole song. So, but I say you just put it on repeat most of the time, and I have a song for you. Especially if I like the beat, it'll come out fast. It don't take long for me, because I've been writing since I was about 8 years old. I started
Okay.
writing poetry and song. I wrote my first gospel song when I was 8 years old, in third grade. Made my mama cry. Surprise.
Okay, that's
Mm-hmm.
pretty cool. So that does show you that it's in you. Like regardless, if you wanted to go in a different direction or whatever, I feel like you could have went in a different direction for a second, but we
Mm-hmm.
would have still been having the same conversation today
Right.
because you would have found your way back.
Right. Right.
Now, are there any artists that you'd love to collaborate with someday?
Mm, yeah, man, shoot. Anthony Hamilton. I've
Hmm.
actually played behind him one day at Charlotte Day, like 6 years ago, 7 years ago. It's been a while, but um, I would love to work with Anthony Hamilton, maybe the Hamiltons too. They're from this area, out of this area, so I would love to work with them. I would love to like meet up with Fantasia and do something. I used to go to school with Vanessa Ferguson, if you know about her. I would love to
Yes.
link with her again and do something. I think that would be awesome. She's a phenomenal artist herself. Shoot, I mean anybody and everybody. I don't really have like a set artist that I really want to work with, but I would love to work with
Mhm.
any and everybody. I wouldn't mind playing behind Kendrick. I think that would be dope. He's already
Oh,
had a few songs, with some
yeah.
sax in there. Now I just don't know. Some Matt on sax in there I think would be pretty awesome. But yeah,
Well,
like I don't know, I love it. I just love if anybody wants some features, let your boy know. I don't mind.
I was gonna say we putting that out in the universe, honey, and we gonna
Yeah,
let that spin a couple of times
you
because
know.
I want us to be able to come back in a couple of years and
Hmm.
say, you remember when I had you on back in 2026 and you were saying, and look, I look up on TV and you up there with Kendrick Lamar, you know what I
Right.
mean? So I
Yeah.
want us to go ahead and put some fire behind those
Right.
manifestations so that we can
Let's
get that out there
go.
and going. Look, let's
Let's
get it
go.
popping.
Get you some straight like that.
So now, what song or piece is especially meaningful to you that you performed and why?
As of late, My Way. Um, I don't know if but the band, I mean, Nubian Collective, we just dropped our version of My Way by Frank Sinatra, with our Nubian Collective spin on it. So it's really been kind of like it says my way, but it's not my way. It's been God's way the whole time. You know what I'm saying? But my
Mhm.
way is God's way.
That's right.
Listening to the spirit, kind of being guided by so wherever I need to go, and listening honestly. Um, if it feel right, it feel right. If it don't, what I'm saying, most times I try to stay away from it. If it doesn't feel like it's giving me what what I'm saying, I need at that point in time. But yeah, I mean, like I say, my way, you can check it out. We got a live version with the orchestra, and we also have the studio version as well. So you can go on YouTube, check out the live version. You can go on Spotify, anywhere you listen to, you can find the regular version as well, the radio version.
I think that that's such a good and powerful song for you guys to
Hmm.
remake, especially putting that Nubian twist on it.
Hmm.
So I know that that's going to be fire. So you guys make sure that you go and check it out. And when we start to wrap up, I'm going to make sure that he gives all of his information to you guys so that you can follow him and keep up with what he's doing. So now we were talking about making money,
Hmm.
from our crafts or whatever.
Right.
But before I ask you that question, I just want to give you kudos for being obedient. I am a spiritual life coach and an intuitive reader. And the one thing that I always tell my clients is be obedient. No
Hmm.
matter how crazy it sounds, no matter what it looks like, be obedient because nobody had that conversation except you and God. So I'm
Right.
so glad that you're obedient to whatever the calling is to you or the pull is to you for your music.
Thank you.
Now, that's leading us back to this question.
Hmm.
How do you stay motivated during challenging seasons? Like if there's not that many shows or you feel like you're not really writing the way you want to write, is there something that you do to keep yourself encouraged and going, or how do you stay motivated?
It's the people around me, honestly. Like I say, my tribe. Even though this actually been a really slow year. This time last year, I was gigging like 3 or 4 times a week, like I was saying. But this year has been completely the opposite. And I'm not really stressed about it. I'm like I'm taking care of my pops right now. Which came at the right time because
Mhm.
as soon as I quit my job, it's kind of like things snowballed. But um, being able to be here for him a lot of the time, which is what we couldn't do before,
Yeah.
um, is really good for me. I think, and then having like good, I got good people around me, people in the band, new being collected. They always they might stop by, randomly hit me up and come by, hang out for a little bit. But most time we do link up on Mondays, just about every Monday, even if we're not performing, just to hang around each other. You know what I'm saying? If
Mhm.
anything, listen to the albums we're working on, or just hang out, play some pool, just to get away. But the motivation is always there, even when it's slow. I if I need to make something, it like, 'cause I love the fact that whenever I put myself to it, like I be like, yo, I need to make some money. And then it's like as soon as I say it, I get like three calls and they be like, "Hey,
Yeah.
you trying to make some money?" I'm like, "All right, bet." So like I really don't be stressing too much. So like I got a gig tomorrow at Dear Dad's downtown. So
Okay.
that come see me 5:30, 8:30 tomorrow if you're available. Um, but yeah, so like I said, anytime if I feel like I'm struggling, I got people around me that kind of keep me from staying stuck in the mud.
Mhm.
They love me when I'm down and when I'm not. But I'm also like always the life of the party. I'm the fun one out of the crew most of the time. But they can always tell when something's touching on me, so they'll pull me out of the darkness some most of the times. Like my son, he's another version of me. Big kidder, loves to laugh and stuff like that. He doesn't let me stay in the dumps too long. So
Mhm.
like I said, the people around me, my tribe is it's hard to not stay motivated when you got these
The
people
right
around you.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a blessing too, and I'm glad that you guys spend downtime together too, just staying connected and keeping the
Hmm.
brotherhood
Right.
alive, you know what I mean? Because it's so
Hmm.
important. So, what legacy do you hope to leave through your music, Matthew?
Uh, the legacy of love, the legacy
Mm,
of just spreading love. Honestly, I feel like there's a lack of it nowadays.
yes.
A lot of people are just making music to make music,
Yeah.
without, and I mean their goal is to make money, which is cool. But my goal, honestly, is to leave a legacy, something that my son will be proud of. Like I try to teach him how to love first, ask questions later, and that's really all I really preach on. If anything, I go and preach on love first, ask questions later. You never know what somebody going through. You never know what they may need, and sometimes just being that one person in somebody day, just saying something nice or giving somebody a hug could change their whole life. And I've experienced this multiple times over and over in my lifetime, just being that person randomly asking, "Hey, you need a hug? Is everything okay?"
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So just being that person, being that empath, that sympathetic person to everybody.
Yes,
Like everybody's not perfect. Everybody's not gonna have a great day. I mean, of course, I don't have great days every day, but you know what I'm saying. Being able to recognize that in other people, that what I'm saying, love first, ask questions later. That's my legacy. That's one to leave.
I love that. Love first and ask questions later.
Hmm.
Matthew, I think you need to put that on a t-shirt.
Definitely, it's coming. It's
And I
coming.
create t-shirts, so we'll talk about that. We
Oh,
can get
all right.
together on it.
We definitely need to
Yeah,
work
because
something
that
out.
is something else that was kind of downloaded to me as you were saying that too, is
Hmm.
I feel like that you're gonna have a song that you're gonna write in the future if you
Hmm.
don't have it already, and the title is simply gonna be Love.
I have it's funny because I do have a song that I wrote and I call it LOVE. Um I wrote it when I was like 14, and I have yet to actually record it, but I've laid down the foundation for it already. I think we're
Mhm,
gonna once we finalize this album, I'm already ready for my second album. I'm pretty much sure like I got half a second album already at least. Um,
mhm.
but I did write a song called Love, and but this first album, with the saxophone stuff, it kind of like it's like an introduction into metal on sax. So you're getting a mixed bag of everything. So it's gonna be like hip hop. There's gonna be some blues on there. There's some rock. There's some R&B. Um, So it's a mixed bag. So you're gonna get a lot of it, but the overall theme for this one is kind of like falling in love.
Okay.
Um, and it's kind of like a falling in love with yourself, but also falling in love with someone else, or falling in love with music again. You can take it however you want to take it, but at the end of the day, it's about love. It's about falling in love. And then the second album, I kind of want to stick to that love theme, but we kind of
Yeah.
like talking about being in love as opposed to falling in love.
I think that that's good because I hate to sound so old school, but it's truly correct. Like the song says, what the world needs now is love, sweet
Love.
love,
That's real. That's
And
real.
um, like you're saying, I'm also an empath, and it's to the point now, Matthew, where there's so many people that are hurting. I have to
Mm-hmm.
make sure that I'm covered before I go to
Right.
spaces,
Right.
where there's going to be a lot of people or whatever. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like that too, and I'm the person that will say, like, I know you don't know me, but
Right.
I feel this energy. And
Right.
sometimes people kind of look like, but most of the time I find that they're open to it. So I think that
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
beautiful that there's someone else out there too that's like, realizing that, hey, life is life, and for all of us, if I can't do nothing else, I can give you a hug and
Right.
give you a few words of encouragement. So that's beautiful. So I look forward to this album coming out, your second album coming out, all
Thank
the things
you.
that you're doing.
Thank you.
So now, as we're starting to wind up,
Mm-hmm.
what advice would you give someone who dreams of becoming a musician?
Um, don't quit. Don't quit. No matter how you feel. Take your instrument out on them days where you don't feel like playing, you know what I'm saying, or you don't feel like going nowhere. Take your instrument out. Or listen to something that you know what I'm saying, that you love listening to, and then take your instrument out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But don't quit. Don't give up. It's gonna get trying. It's gonna feel like it's not ends not gonna meet. Sometimes you might find yourself in a hole, but at the end of the day, don't give up. Don't quit on yourself. 'Cause if you quit on you, why will anybody else believe in you? You know what I'm saying? If you don't believe in yourself, nobody else going to. So continue to believe in yourself.
absolutely. So, what is one life lesson that music has taught you?
Your dreams are what you make them.
Mm, mm-hmm.
And as long as you keep, pushing forward, you'll be surprised. Like I've had dreams where I was on stage in front of thousands of people and messed around and was woke up one day and was doing it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So whatever I say, look, just keep dreaming and your dreams will be reality as long as you keep acting on them. So keep pushing.
And my final question for you is, if your saxophone could tell your story in one sentence, what would it say?
Saxophone could tell me something in one sentence.
Yep, tell your story in one sentence.
Mm, that's a good question. Uh, don't give up. Don't quit. Stand strong and get you some. uh,
And I was waiting on you to say, and love.
look, if I'm about to say, and to end it off, love first and ask questions later.
Yes, yes. Okay, Matthew. So give us all of your details, honey, all of your Instagram, your social medias, everything so that people can follow you.
Right on. Facebook, Matthew Miller. I'm pretty much the only black Matthew Miller on the Eastern Seaboard, so you'll find me pretty quick. If I'll be the first one you see with a saxophone. And then on my Instagram is Matt on Sax again, because you're gonna want to see me again.
True story.
Tag in. Matt on Sax again, 8711 is my email. Same easy, you know what I'm saying? Matt on Sax. You know what I'm saying? What else? Oh, and if you wanna I got a YouTube page. I'm still growing it, still trying to build on it. Need to post some more. Gotta get some more followers. But that's Matt on Sax 8711. So holla at your boy.
And if you guys have any questions or whatever, you can also feel free to contact me, and I'll be more than happy to connect you guys as well. Matthew, thank you so much for sharing your journey, your heart, and your passion with us today. Your story reminds us that music is more than a sound, it's a language of healing, hope, and connection. We appreciate the gift you bring to the world through your talent and dedication. To our listeners, thank you for spending this moment with us. Remember, every person has a story worth hearing, and every moment has the power to inspire. Until next time, keep shining your light, creating beautiful moments of your own. This has been Moments with Myra. Be blessed. Thank you.